All right, let's seed some data here. If you'll recall, the model is show, and show has a list of time slots. And a time slot has a list of providers, and a provider has a URL and a priority, which let's just default that to one, I guess. And then I also have settings, which all I just defaulted enabled to true. That's means that when you go to the website, it'll just automatically start opening up URLs to live streams. And that is all contained in the state manager right here. So we're gonna need state manager in here. State manager. Why am I not getting IntelliSense? Using Clicker models. Surprised I didn't have that up. All right. Here, state manager. And I'm that state manager. I am going to need an IJS runtime. So let's give it a CTOR tab. And it should actually, if you ask me, when you hit that tab, it should put you right here, because why are you putting in a CTOR that's not going to take any parameters? Well, there are times, but most likely you're putting it in there for that, right? So you want an IJS runtime, JS, control dot, create an assigned field, JS. And then can't do await in a constructor, can't await a constructor, so there's a couple ways around that. You can put in a private static builder and return a state manager. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to go public void init. I should have looked at what that code said. Let me go ahead and come back. Let's take a little trip down GitHub Lane. That doesn't look too bad. Settings. It shows. That looks pretty good actually, but that's not what we're going to do right now. What we're going to do is we're going to call a seed method void seed. Seed. We are going to go into the local storage once we get this set up. But right now, I just want to get some seed data to see that I can make sure that it changes channels or opens and closes URLs. So for now, we're going to say date time now. Date time now. Yeah, Copilot got that right. Now, normally when I deal with times, dates and times, as best as I can, I try to use UTC time as much as I can and screw everybody else, if they're not on the Greenwich Mean Time and it's not standard time or whatever, deal with it. But in this case, because the show's run, I'm in Eastern, right now I'm in Eastern Daylight Time, which is Eastern Coast of the United States. And I can't put it in UTC unless I want to do calculations from and to UTC, the Eastern Standard Time, and I'm not getting into that. So because I'm storing this locally anyway, and it's just for me, and if you decide to use it on my website, it'll be in your local time zone too. So it just kind of skips all that date time calculation crap. So let's go for Uh, go to 3 because I got 3. Show equal new, and name, we call it show I. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, why not? Skip that. I don't know what the default on that is. No, we'll call it show type. We'll call it daily, even though today's Friday. In case I run this code on Saturday, I want that, buddy. Show type. Now, I don't know what else the show's got on it that matters. Just the time slots, right? Okay. Time slots equal new. The time slots. We have. We do not need an air date. Day of week. Oh yeah, I gotta do this for 1 to 7, right? For it to always work. So it's a little easier to do it out of line. So let's go time slots for J. That'll be 7. Okay, we need a list of time slots. List time slots. New. That really matters, but we'll do has to be 7. Just in case you don't know, when you initialize a new list, it initializes with a capacity of 4. And the way lists work is that if you put in 5, underneath the list is an array. And if you put in 5, what it has to do is copy the first 4 over. It doubles the size of the array. So it goes from 4 to 8. And then it copies the first 4 that it had in the original array into that new list. I'm sorry, into that new array. So, you're leaving stuff for the garbage collector because the original array gets sent to the garbage heap or whatever. It gets tagged for garbage collection or whatever the technical terms are. So now we're going to go time slot, time slot equal new. Just going to accept what that just said and see what happens. Start time equals, this is going to be wrong. This is going to be, we're going to have minutes added, right? Let me think about this. I might have to pause the video while I think here. Yeah, let me pause it. All right, didn't take too much thinking, but I needed more coffee anyway. So what we're gonna need to do here is int minutes added. So I'll explain my logic here, what I'm trying to accomplish in a minute. So we'll say we're gonna want to increment that for each show. So we'll go, yeah, shows add show, yeah, and minutes added plus. And then here we're going to set the start time to time only from date time. And we'll say now add minutes added. And that should be okay. And here, same thing. We'll want to end it minutes added plus 1. Time only from date time. Now add minutes added. and it's added +1. And why do we have a problem? Oh yeah. And this should have that. Oh yeah, it should. That should have it. What am I doing up there? So um we're gonna add that time slots. Time slots. Add time slot. And this show should have time slots equals time slots. And we also need a provider. So let me get a string of providers here. And provider URLs equal some array of strings for free. Very good, Copilot. Very good. All right, so I know these are going to be stand-ins for shows here. I know that DW News, that's a German. Dealing with Popper has a live site on or a live feed on YouTube 24 hours a day. String provider names too, string an array of string provider names, YouTube, Crunchyroll, Fumination, copy. And this one is we'll call NP Jacks. This is a provider have priority, which I'll just give them all ones. So let's see here. That's that one, and also this one is France. I don't know what it is, but they have a 24-hour news feed. So that'll be this one. And then the last one is NPR Jacksonville, which we'll get to in a minute here if we can get this thing running properly. So we're gonna have to go time slots. We're gonna want to take the I of this one. Oh, time slot. I'm sorry, not time slot, providers. New provider. And it looks like we got that one right. All right. I think I defaulted priority to 1 anyway, right? Yeah, I defaulted that to 1, so we don't have to mess around with that. So that looks like it looks like it should work. We'll see what happens. The other thing we're going to need to do is settings. So I'm going to be when I store this in local storage, I'm going to actually be storing. If I should store them separately or together, I would like to store them together. Maybe I should rearrange this and call this like a page model. And the page model has these two things on it. And then the state manager is responsible for getting this in and out of local storage and yada yada. It's probably a better way to do it. I think I'll refactor it off camera because there's no point in watching me do that. But for now, let's just go settings equals new. Settings equals new because I think I've got the defaults on that, which is, yeah, enabled equals true. All right, so we got that. We got the state manager. And we're going to go state manager equal new. And we're going to pass in JS, right? That's the only thing I got. Now we're going to come up here For right now, I'm just gonna spit out the shows. GitHub, Copilot. I don't know why I keep calling it GitHub. Copilot. You're repeating exactly what I just did down there. All right. Well, imitation is the best form of flattery. All right, so let's slap a table on here, I guess. We're gonna make this. I just wanted to look at this real quick. So we have a radio schedule here. This is a weekly. Oh yeah, I need to explain. I think I said in the previous episode that I was gonna slap a different time slot for each show, even if it's weekly or weekdays or whatever. And that kind of works out because you can see here Science Friday on Fridays, 2 hour show, but then they have a repeat on Sunday. And on Sunday, where is it? Just had it. How did I just lose that like that? Well, in here somewhere, it's Science Friday is an hour show. There it is. Brain dead. Or eyeballs don't work. So it's an hour show. So that works out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a weekly view for my schedule, and I'm gonna have a daily schedule as well. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of pump something like this out, and then it's gonna get a little bit more complicated because let's say like here, maybe at 6 p.m. I want to watch Marketplace, but I'm not interested in Today Explained. So I'll watch Marketplace, and then I have nothing for a half an hour maybe. I want a default show to come back out of something that goes from 6 to 7 p.m. or something like that. So it's going to get more complicated. A time slot could have more than one show, which is shown better on daily schedule. So at 8 a.m., maybe I'll watch Morning Edition, but maybe I'm not interested in what they're talking about that day. So I'll have a second and a third show that I can click to default to, something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm making this up as I go along, so bear with me. Anyway, we're gonna just kind of pump out some shows on the table here. I'm not even gonna bootstrap it up. I'll give it some self padding, three. Oh, if only that worked. We'll just for now we'll go to for now we'll just pump it out at for each bar S and state manager. Should actually have that in a if not null. State manager uh, equal to null. Um, TR um, at s dot name. Leave it there for now, just to see if we got 3 shows on. All right, here's praying. Do we not new up state manager? Oh, I never called the NIT.
I did not create perfection, I created error.
State manager. Yeah. See if that does it. Show 1, show 2, show 0. Well, I'm sorry, show 0. All right. So that seems to be working. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted to explain my thinking here is what I want to happen here, you know, is that every time I start this up, I want the shows to be going on right now. The first show is going to be due right now, and then a minute later, that's why. So I do three shows, which you saw, and then the first show starts right now, and it's going to be over in a minute. Which actually I forgot. Did I? No, I didn't. In time. And then a minute later, the second show, the first show will be ending, the second show will be starting. That way there I can see the change channel thing happening. In reality, of course, once I figure out this is working, then the shows will be half an hour, or whatever. All right. Already getting kind of long here, so I'm gonna leave it there for now, and then we're gonna come back. I gotta fidget around with this because when I change a channel, I want to use the same window object. So I gotta rework this code. So we'll leave it there for now, and then we'll work on changing channels in the next one.